Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rob. I just wanted to let you know this is part 2 of episode number 4. This video originally was, like I said before, it was originally one long length. Technical reasons I had to cut it in half. This is the second half. If you haven't watched the first half, there is a link down in the description. If you can't see it, click more. It should show up. And I would highly recommend you watch that first because a lot of the stuff that is in this one relies upon context in the first one that you definitely need. You have to watch it consecutively. It's been a long day. I've been at it for 12 hours, and I still have more work to do, obviously, by putting this in. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you've already seen part 1, well, here we go with the program already in progress. Appreciate you. Bye. Number 6. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, this is not me putting single mothers down. It's a very challenging life to be a single mother. I married a single mother a while ago, and the one thing I will say that she was very good at, I will give her kudos for, is she allowed me to be a father to that girl. And I will give her credit for that, and I'm at least grateful for that part. Unfortunately, her and I are not together anymore. It was a very toxic relationship between the two of us. In few or less words, ladies, if you have children out of wedlock or you become divorced, we already know your kids are your world. But especially us as Christian men, we know when you say my kids come first, it's over. It's over. God should come first. You and your spouse come second. Why? Because you create a unified front, you and her, to make sure that those kids are well disciplined. They know where the boundaries are. They know where the rewards are. They know where the consequences are. And again, I'm going to give credit. My ex never undermined me without authority. And that's one thing I did appreciate about her. The other thing is, especially in this day and age, the average man in the United States makes between $45,000 to $50,000 a year. Now, I make north of that, to a degree. And for a single man who doesn't spend a lot of money, I live a pretty comfortable life. But if I added a wife, she'd have to work part-time. She's got kids, she'd probably have to work full-time. And it becomes a rat race. You probably end up having to undo things that maybe, especially public school, because I can't afford, I wouldn't be able to afford to put them in private school, all of the garbage that the world shoves down in these kids' throats these days. And you see it on the news all the time. Another thing is, I would recommend against guys dating single moms. And again, if you're a single mother, I'm not putting you down. You just need to understand there's a certain amount of level of humility you have to have. I have multiple divorces under my belt. I have to understand that I need to be humble about that. Those were my choices. You need to be humble about the fact that you were in bed with somebody that eventually left the kids. Or maybe you left them. See, the guy from the outside, he doesn't know that. We don't know the dynamic. You end up with baby daddy drama, what they call that. It's just a mess. I got lucky in another avenue is my ex's child's father and I got along really well, and we actually were on the same page when it came to, this little girl's life. And him and I we still get along really well to this day. Also, if something goes south, ladies, you need to understand, especially if a guy bonds with your child like a father would to his own, you leave us, there's nothing we can do. There is nothing we can do. And I wouldn't say it's like losing your own child, but I'd say it's probably as close as somebody who doesn't have one would get. And it tears your middle out, and it's something I never want to experience again. Never. 7, this is while you're in a committed relationship. Ladies, do not do girls' nights out. Now, if you're all getting together at somebody's house to watch movies, I mean, that's a different story. Or you're getting together, the ladies group at church is getting together to have, do some type of activity at church. That's completely understandable. Completely understandable. What I'm talking about is y'all going to clubs or bars where it's just, especially if you're the only one that's in a committed relationship and you have single friends. We'll get to that next. But why do you need to go out, especially without your partner? Why don't you bring your partner with you? Why? Do you need attention from other men? Why is his attention not enough? So, girls' nights out, no. And a lot of times things end up happening on girls' nights out that a lot of these ladies end up regretting later. Don't be one of them. Toxic single friends groups. We as men already know this. If your girl that you've been with, or your woman that you've been with for a while, has single friends, and they seem to go through strings of boyfriends, they never seem to have any type of long-term relationship, that should automatically be a red flag. For you ladies that are in a committed relationship, you need to understand you are the sum of the people you hang out with. You are the sum of the people you hang out with. And Kevin Samuels said it the best. God rest his soul. Single women keep other women single. So if you've managed to get a man, but your friends are always talking, don't talk crap about it in front of your friends, because they'll probably do it on their own. You need to find another friend group. 5-star first date requirements. Girls, that's unrealistic. The reason why it is unrealistic, a man's most valuable thing he has is time. Because that's time he could be spending doing other things such as making money. He's already spending money to be there, whatever it is, but he has the opportunity of being able to make more money, during the time he's with you. I don't know, what is up with me today? Where was I? Yeah, there's other things he could have been doing. And again, I talked about this with the whole coffee dates. You don't do coffee dates. We don't do coffee dates. Ladies, again, I'm going to reiterate this. Boys, if she's going to immediately refuse one, walk away. Or even a lunch date. Even a lunch date can run you $50. Even a lunch date, which I've done. I've done lunch dates. I've never had anybody say no. A girl is likely, if she doesn't like you, to put up with being bored with you if she's at a 5-star restaurant and is enjoying all kinds of food and stuff she wouldn't be able to enjoy on her own dime. So, if you ask her to take her to hey, well, let's keep it simple at first, let's kind of slide into things, and she expects 5-star treatment, she's going to turn you into a foodie call. Somebody that she just calls on every now and again. She probably has a roster of them to call on. Walk away. Girls, don't do that. Young ladies, don't. If a guy asks you to go to a coffee date and they've got some really, maybe some nice pastries or even small sandwiches sometimes, especially if he takes you to an independent coffee shop, not Starbucks, something that's privately owned where they have all different kinds of maybe coffee beans or whatever. I remember when I lived in the city, they had a chain of small independently owned coffee shops, and they had most of the time about 50 different roasts and beans. It was fantastic. Plus they had food. I said this before in the video about unrealistic dating expectations. And one is, ladies, he gets to see what you look like on an average everyday basis, because you're not going to get all gussied up to go to a coffee date. He's probably not either. Just nice jeans, nice clean shirt. Do your hair, but not wild or anything, just as you would if you're not working and maybe you're going to church or something, or just going out to do something at night. Just like that. Because that's what you're going to look like most of the time anyway. The boss bint and disrespectful attitudes. I've already said this before. Men already have a boss. Either a boss he already works for, or if you're like me right now, I work for myself. But I still have the boss of time. I still have the boss of, basically the things and responsibilities that I need to take care of. That's still kind of a boss. That needs to be taken care of. I don't want to come home to another boss. And I definitely don't want to come home to a bint. And yes, I'm using the English slang version of the actual word. The other thing is, okay, you want to be a boss, or an alpha female cannot be with an alpha male, as they refer to it. A man who is a leader. Okay, that's what alpha is. It's a leader. Okay? You cannot have an alpha male and an alpha female in the same house. A ship cannot have two captains. It can only have one captain and a good XO. Now, what an XO is, it's short for executive officer. That executive officer answers to only one person, it only answers to the captain. The XO a lot of times will also take up slack if the captain on a ship has been injured, whatever, they take up the slack. They are the captain's right-hand man, or in this case, your household being a ship, your woman. Obviously, a good XO is also going to maybe advise the captain on some things that you might want to take a look at this, sir, but at the end of the day, there's one captain. The other thing is, I hear this a lot. Ladies, should you be disrespected? Absolutely not. I don't think you should be disrespected. But you also shouldn't be given undue respect where you don't deserve it. If you're acting like the boss bint, or you're being maybe flippant or whatever towards a man, don't expect respect. Respect is reciprocal. If you do not give respect, you will not get respect. Boys, if you are watching this, do the same thing. Don't expect her to respect you if you do not respect her as a woman. You do not respect her as your partner. When you're, ladies, now for you younger ones that are still in high school that might be watching this, you're probably not going to have this problem, but I hear this a lot from women who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. All my exes are toxic and they're bad, and I've never had a good relationship. Why? I've had a lot of bad ones, don't get me wrong. But I've had good ones too. And I remember what made them good. And for the string of bad ones I had to sit back and take some self-reflective look. What was wrong in those relationships? What was the common denominator, as they referred to? Me. So ladies, if this is actually true, you need to take a look in the mirror. You need to do some self-reflection. The most beautiful thing to a man, especially in this day and age, is watching a woman hold herself accountable and responsible for her own choices. It's a beautiful thing. And a girl who does so and is trying to rebuild herself, good on you. Good on you. For you guys, if a girl acts like that, chances are the person that was in the relationship, either she herself might not be the bad faith actor, but there's something wrong on the inside that keeps her choosing those type of men. And as there's another psychology in which she's used to that. So even if you yourself are not that type of guy, she will try to recreate the environment for you to be that type of guy that she's been with before. She will fight, and I know this from personal experience. Personal experience. She will fight you, she will try to recreate it, and then when it's all over, especially when you found a way to stand your ground and not react in a bad way, in an emotional way, you're going to be made the demon. She'll never be able to prove it, but she will make you the demon no matter what. You're going to be the bad guy. So, again, boys, you need to understand women have to be held accountable and responsible for their actions and their choices, just like we men are. Now, the last one, this should be obvious. The first word is cheating. You catch a girl cheating, guys, you're done. Ladies, understand that any man that is worth his salt is going to end things with you immediately for you cheating. Especially if you'd cut it. Well, I gave him all kinds of hints. Ladies, we do not read minds. We suck at it. I'm in my 50s and I still suck at it. I don't want to read minds. I'm pretty good at reading body language. I'm pretty good about, these days, for the most part, even with women now, where they say, smelling a lie like a fart in a car. Yeah, I mean, but even still. Cheating is a dishonor. It's a dishonor to yourself. It's a dishonor to your partner. And if the person you're cheating with has no idea that you're married, you've just dishonored them too. You dishonored 3 people by that action. Guys, same thing. Same thing. I also talked about breaks. Oh, I need to take a break from a relationship. I would, ladies, especially if you actually, as you say, oh, I really love him, but I need to take a break to decide, blah, 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 or I got to go out and find myself. Well, ladies, you better be willing to lose him. Because one that's got any spine is going to go, okay, you walk out that door, you're walking out the door single. You're going to walk out the door single because I'm not putting myself into a friend zone place. I'm not doing that. If we've been in a loving relationship, a caring relationship, maybe you're engaged, I am not being put in the friend zone. We're done. As soon as you walk out that door, you're single. I am willing to endure that pain in order to be able to maintain and keep my integrity, myself in check. Pauses, that's another one, but it's pretty much the same as a break. I'm going to repeat something that I did in a previous video, mostly for the young men, but this is for both of you all, again. And it relates to single motherhood. Stay abstinent. Choose celibacy. Is it easy when you're young? No, it's not. I remember what it was like. To some degree these days I still do. But it keeps me intact. I get a kick out of you're catching feelings. Well, yeah. You're sharing yourselves with each other. Of course you're going to catch feelings. We're not, me as a man, I'm not a monster. I can be one, but I'm not one. I'm not a monster. I'm not not an a-hole. Keep yourself celibate. So, if you're not doing all these things, ladies, you're going to raise your chances of finding that higher quality man. Concentrate on your grades in school, I would say, especially for the one that inspired this video. Maybe if you want to, go to college for something that's actually going to be useful to you. And maybe find a man while you're in college that's on the same path as you. Again, you can help him. You can be his helpmate, not his combatant. And then maybe you both can get to the point where you've helped him get on the way. You guys start your own company. Maybe it's a multimedia company, YouTube channel, something like that. And they'd be like, well, I want kids. Now you can be free to do so. Ladies, if you want to be a boss babe, boss bent, go ahead. But you're going to limit your options severely. That's all I got for today. One coming up here pretty soon. The next one we're going to do here in the studio, the Lion's Den, as I'm going to start calling it, is it's going to be about the manosphere and some of the issues that it has and some of the things that is a poisoning of the well, so to speak. And I might get some hate for this, but I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't care. This has been the Solitary Pride, and as I said before, my name is Rob. Please like and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. I'll try to put as much work into these videos as I can. and remain consistent as I possibly can in giving, I would say, original content. I'm not doing somebody else's content. In the future, my future plans here, probably within the next coming weeks, is I'm probably going to add a Cash App for donations. Don't feel coerced to do it. I'm not into that. It's just going to be there if you want, kind of help out. If I've earned it, if you don't, fine. You're still going to get the stuff for free. Put your claws on the notification bell. Those right there. Yeah, put your claws on there. God bless you all. Live in love. Take care of one another. I'll see you in the next one, Pride.